Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the final track of the day, Digital from Farm to Fork. Our intro is a chance for switching chairs for our jury members to take their place in the first row. Ladies and gentlemen, dear jury members, I kindly ask you to introduce yourself before you ask the questions to our presenters. Okay, so as we are running out of time, I will speed it up a little bit. So let's meet our first contestant. Please give a warm welcome to Alexandre Sicard, Research Lead and Project Manager, Harvest AI. Hello. Oh, I'm so sorry, because the number was, I'm so sorry. Also, it's Alfiya Kayumova, co-founder at Green Growth. Sorry for that. But I kindly ask you to give her a warm welcome. Hello, hi. Welcome to the stage. Alfiya, the remote is for you. Timer is here. You will have exactly 3 minutes, and I wish you a best of luck.
My name is Alfiya, and I'm co-founder of agri-tech startup Green Growth. Let me take you to a small city in the western part of Latvia, where mid-sized farmer Martin has been managing his farm for decades. For many years, he used the same farming practices, treating his entire fields like a single unit. And every year, he faced with the same challenges: low margin, high prices, and a lot of fears about his future. So in 2022, he discovered Green Growth. He decided to try our easy-to-use and scalable SaaS platform. So he discovered that his field is not like, a single field with the same yield across it all, but it has a lot of productivity zones that require different doses of fertilizers and seeds. So results were amazing. In just 1 year, he was able not only decrease his cost, but also increase his profit by 10%. And this example is just one among many in our portfolio. Whether you're a small farmer in Finland or you're a big farmer in the United States, you understand the benefits and profits using Green Growth platform. But let's zoom up to the bigger picture. Every year, 1.6 billion of hectares are operated and cultivated by farmers, and most of them are faced with the same challenges as Martin's. So to stay in the business, farmers have to start control their yield and start control their costs. Actually, this is exactly what Green Growth provides to the farmer. We have developed SaaS platform that in the real time demonstrate the actual distribution of yield across the field. The format of data is tons per hectare. The data we take directly from combined harvesters with the usage of IoT devices that we manufacture by ourselves. We also have quite ambitious goal is to reduce at least 400 million tons across at least 3 million hectares in the next 5 years. So this year we are going to make 500k euros, and at this moment we operate in 9 countries. 7 of them are based in European Union. So our market is huge, and in our midterm strategy, we are going to cover more and more machinery that involved in crop production, and this is how we will increase and boost our market. Of course, we have competitors, but we also have unfair advantages. That is, our system is universal, it's easy to use, it's scalable, and it's affordable. We have a really great team, so I'm responsible for sales and market expansion. My co-founder is responsible for technical questions, and at this moment we are raising seed round in a sum of 1 million for further market expansion and product development. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alfiya. Thank you. I will take the remote. So maybe you will take the middle, the place in the middle of the stage. So let's start our questions. Yes, we have the first one.
Hi, Robbie Walker, Alltech. Just in terms of competitors, I would have thought that John Deere, Trimble, Topcon already supply the manufacturers, or are the manufacturers, who else are you competing with and how are you going to compete with them?
So it looks like you're understand the topic. The thing is that we do not compete with John Deere. We are trying to supply them with our technology into quite exotic countries that customers could not afford to buy like 30 or 40K euros solutions. This is first one. And the second one, we are targeting retrofit machinery, like 5, 10, 20 years old machinery, which actually more than 55% on the market, if we look in total.
Conan Condon, Alltech. Just in relation to the data that you're capturing, do you see, while you're building a web app, do you see that's also playing into other mapping technologies, again, from those other competitors? Do you see that as a route to market?
Can you please rephrase your question?
So you're collecting all the data from the farm. There's a lot of web apps out there already in the marketplace.
Yes, right.
And even if they've got old hardware, they might have new hardware, which is used in other platforms. Mm-hmm. How do you see competing with those? Or do you see your data going into those?
We are not
platforms?
competing. We developed open API. So if farmers already use some farm management system, they can easily, upload all our data into their platforms. So this is why we are quite open in that question. We also do, right at this moment, open integration with all famous FMAS and operation centers, like John Deere operation centers, so farmers will not face with any problems of data exchange.
Okay, thank you very much for a great presentation and answering questions. Big applause for our first contestants. Alfiya, thank you very much. And as I mentioned before, now please welcome to the stage Alexandre Sicard, Research Lead and Project Manager, Harvest AI. Hello. Hi. So the best place to be is the middle of the stage.
Yeah, okay.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot. So good afternoon, and thanks for the kind introduction, I guess. And yes, I'm Alexandre Sicard. I'm project manager for Harvest AI, and today I will introduce you to our tool to support commercial indoor farming greenhouses with the help of machine learning and computer vision. So we are offering software as a service. So as you can see, this is an interface displayed on your computer. This tool comports multiple aspects and features in it. The first one is supporting greenhouses operation to validate amount harvested with information related to the pricing and better strategically facilitate this. Our tool is also incorporating a feature with regards to crop growth, allowing those operations to not only explore different indoor climate strategies, since we are working with controlled environment agriculture, but also allow them to choose which one is the best. So we are also relying on computer vision for automated crop registration, so taking pictures within the greenhouse and monitoring it constantly. This impacts the efficiency of the greenhouse, allowing our customers to better plan their harvest, their sales, but also their labor. So basically when they have a lot of harvest to be done on some other task related to the plant to be done, they can better manage the amount of people working within this operation, while when there's no such things, they can reduce the amount of people working in that. We are a data-driven company. So we standardize this. This is particularly impactful on network of greenhouses where they have multiple master growers, which will have different ways to predict what will happen over the next week within their operation or manage differently their labor. So with that, we expect that we can increase the annual revenue of the customer we are working with by 10 to 20%, which is more or less between 50 to 100K per hectare per year. So how it works? We first start by defining the needs of our customer, and we use their own data, historical data, as much as they can provide. Those historical data are divided in harvested data, right? Indoor climate data and crop registration data. With that, we build a first machine learning model. This machine learning model has its own limitation, which is based on the data we collect. For instance, most of the operations we are working with use weekly measurements for the crop, which in the end provide a weekly forecast. in order to fulfill this gap, we are either relying on plant simulator or on computer vision system. So here's an example of, on the left picture, what the camera sees and what the computer vision sees, which is a color-coded picture where every different color is a different class of objects. We have a prototype which helps us to monitor the crop on a regular basis. This is our roadmap. So we started in 2022, and in 2023 we integrated our first software within Greenhouse. I will just, if
we can't. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I'm so sorry. These are the rules. I'm such a bad cop here. Terrible job, actually. Terrible. I have to interrupt everybody. But it was a great presentation, and I think there will be additional questions. First one is already here.
Thank you for the presentation. In Maimon Pomeranchik, Archimedes Group. Can you elaborate a bit about the competitive advantage? Because you're in a very competitive landscape.
Yes, that's true. So first of all, we are combining computer vision and machine learning, so which is not what most of our competitors are doing. But also we are providing a dynamic prediction, which means that our machine learning algorithm is directly connected to the greenhouse, integrating those indoor climate data and refreshing the predictions that we are doing, which so far has not been something we've seen in our competitor analysis, but yeah.
Thank you.
The second question.
Conan Condon, Alltech. When you're creating your AI models, your vision models, each farm is going to be different. What's the time to train that model to get that return on investment? Because it's not going to be straight.
So, yeah, I will reply to this question and a bit more, because in fact we are not only having a benchmarking period for just building the model and showing that this is working, we have to prove it over time. So we expect a 6 months period of development to reach a consensus where our customer will trust our tool. So doesn't mean that we are not generating revenue in the meantime. We are paid for that, for sure. But that's also a period where the customer can choose yes or no to continue such project.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alexandre. Thank you very much for the presentation and answering questions. Big applause, of course, for Alexandre. And I can see that Penelope is already with us, so please join me here to the stage and give her a warm welcome. Penelope Nagel, co-founder and COO, Persistence Data Mining. Hello. The remote for you. You have a timer here. Middle of the stage is the best place to be. Okay, good luck.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Penelope Nagel. I'm co-founder and COO of Persistence Data Mining, where we are actually revolutionizing and have standardized a new method for soil nutrient testing. So basically, right now, comprehensive testing is inaccurate, it's expensive, and farmers just don't have the ability to use this technology because of the expense. 32% of our input costs go into fertilizer in the US. And globally, this is a huge market. So right now what we do, as you can see up here, is we go out and in a very large area, about 2 hectares every 4 years, we take a cup of dirt and we send it to a chemical lab. We don't even use that information for a year in most cases. Our technology is near real time. We can go out and take all of those cores. That cup of dirt is now spread out across the ground over 6 different inches across the ground, and we take multiple scans in order to improve profitability. We've done a number of field studies, and right now we're actually raising money. We've raised about $3 million. We have $400,000 left in our late seed stage, and we'll be raising another 2.6 following on after we start generating more revenues next year. The most important thing we're going to talk about here is this case study, because in this particular case study, we were able to, in 216 acres, increase yields year over year for 6 years by $80,000. This is an alfalfa crop. It's not a high-value crop, so that's very significant. We reduced fertilizer inputs by about 4.7 tons of fertilizer that potentially could have gone into our waterways. We also saved the money the farmer $22,000 on fertilizer inputs because we were able to apply the fertilizer exactly where it needed to go. These are substantial findings. We've published, we just received an award from the International Society of Photonics and Optics for our new test method. We did standardize that. I'll be receiving an award in America next week for the work that we did with the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, the IEEE and ASTM. So our solution has been proven across these 7 different fields. We've proved this all over the United States in all 12 major soil orders. So this is a system that we can deploy globally. We've also tested in Canada, Mexico, and India with about 18% decrease in fertilizer costs for the farmer across the globe. Now, there are some competition. One of the things I can say is that we adhere to the standardized method as the FAO had prescribed. The agricultural market is huge. We're looking at a huge revenue, and our business model is based on promoting sustainability by leasing the equipment, and the more samples you take, basically, the lower the cost for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Penelope. Thank you for your presentation. I can take the remote so it will not be disturbing. Okay, do we have any questions to Penelope? Or everything was clear? Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Robbie Walker, Alltech. I wasn't entirely clear on what the hardware was. Is it permanently in the field, or is it a sampling methodology, or what is it? Just practically, what is it?
So we have 2 systems that we currently use. One of those is actually a device that we drive through the field. In adherence to the ASTM standard test methodology, we homogenize that sample, which is one of the core differences between what we do and what our competition does. It's also scanning with a hyperspectral sensor from 350 to 2,500 nanometers, which again, we worked with FAO and IEEE to basically establish that that was the range that was needed because we can normalize for water, whereas our competition can't. So it's hyperspectral imaging, and you move the sensor throughout the field and take a sample.
And so it's real time. You don't take samples,
Correct.
send them in. It's right there.
It's right there.
Hello, I'm Marika King from Pink, Paulig Venture Arm. I was just curious as to whether you are considering complementing with sort of analysis of like the microbes in the soil, or is that included already in your?
So right now we're in process for validation with the National Institute of Standards and Technology in the USA. We are running these against the Haney test, which is a microbial count test, so that we can see how that's impacting, so we can actually quantify what's happening with carbon. So that's our primary focus on this particular study that we're moving into a phase 2 on. But yes, those are all things that are a function of this. Right now, we're focused directly on those nutrients, so NPK, micronutrients, and pH.
Okay. Thank you very much, Penelope, for your presentation and, of course, answering the questions. Big applause for Penelope. And now, please welcome to the stage Andrew Diprose, CEO at RootWave, our next presenter. Okay, so the timer is here. You have 3 minutes. Good luck.
Good afternoon. Herbicides are the number 1 tool used by farmers to kill weeds. However, there's 2 big issues. Resistance. Resistance. So Mother Nature is fighting back, and the tools are becoming less and less effective. And there's no pipeline for manufacturers for new solutions. And the second is safety, in that regulators globally are restricting and banning the use of herbicides for concerns over our safety and that of the environment. Farmers are looking for a non-chemical solution that doesn't cost them the earth. This is where electricity comes in. How it works is you touch the weed, the electricity flows. The natural resistance of that weed turns that electrical energy into heat, which boils it inside out from the root upwards, without damaging the soil. Its lower cost will save the farmer money. It's organic, there's no chemical residues. It's regenerative, we don't damage the soil. It's more productive in that we've got a wider weather window to operate in. And it's future-proof in that we're fully autonomous with, compatible with autonomous and electrical tractors. And it's really good efficacy. This photo's from maize, where you can see one application of RootWave is comparable to 2 applications of chemistry. So in a nutshell, RootWave uses electricity to kill weeds, giving a better weed control at a lower cost. We've identified 2 key markets. The first is tree crops, and by this I mean orchards and vineyards. And here we have a build strategy. The second is row crops, so think maize, cereal, soy, etc. And here we have a partnering strategy. In our tree crop solution, we've tried and tested it. We're building machines delivered to customers this year. We've got overwhelming demand from customers for demonstrations. We've got an attractive margin that grows over time, and we've got a great business case for the farmer. In our partnering strategy, we're looking to take our electronics out of that fruit machine and put it into a row crop machine. We've got our first agreement with a global agro-machinery company where we're just doing that for row crops. We're looking for 7 million to take us to profitability in 2027. And we've got a great leadership and board team. My background is management consultancy. Of note is Jorge, who is the CEO founder of Blue River Technologies, acquired by John Deere for 305 million. And in terms of impact, we're all about reducing herbicides in our environment. Our secondary impact is reducing carbon due to the energy-intensive nature of manufacturing herbicides. So that's it. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you very much. Yes, so let's start immediately the Q&A session. Thank you for a great presentation. Yes, we have one.
Thank you, very interesting indeed, and a very big problem. Is it specifically for a specific crop, or did you check it on different crops?
So we've done about 12 independent trials the last couple of years. We've done it on maize, sugar beets, orchards and vineyards. So it's sort of crop and weed agnostic. The trick is in the crop how to move your applicators around the crop. In trees, it's really easy. You use the tree itself as a lever. In row crops, you need a vision system and a mechanical solution to go around it, of which there are plenty through our partnering strategy.
Conan Altek. Robotics, you were talking about as it works with autonomous. Are you looking at your own autonomous solution?
No, my belief is that tractors themselves are becoming autonomous, and farmers probably won't want to invest in multiple autonomous tractors, so robots. So we just link on to an autonomous tractor as an implement. So we don't have a vision system ourselves or that automation. We're just an implement combines with an autonomous tractor.
Just to follow on that, how are you picking out the weeds then if you have no vision, or how does your vision? How are you picking up the weeds?
So in tree crops, you don't need to. You basically have a herbicide-free a slot that goes along the row crop. We've got actually a very low-tech applicator. It's just effectively an applicator that bounces around the trees. You don't need any sophistication there. When it comes to row crop, so think maize, sugar beets, soy, etc., then you do need sophistication. You do need a camera that identifies the crop, and then you assume everything else is a weed, and then you need mechanical movements to go around it. But rather than develop it ourselves, we're partnering with agro-machinery manufacturers that already have those solutions, because we see the most value in actually the kill technology opposed to the vision technology, where there's thousands of solutions out there.
Thank you, Andrew, very much. Thank you for your presentation and for answering questions, of course. Thank you. Big applause for Andrew. I will speed it up a little bit. Please welcome Dan Weinberg, Enterprise Account Executive at Tastewise Technologies. Hello. Good afternoon. See your remote. Okay, you have 3 minutes. Good luck.
Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone can hear me okay? To be honest, I shouldn't really need the microphone. I'm loud enough as it is. But anyway, let's start off. Tastewise, first of all, is the world's first generative AI platform for food and beverage organizations. Thanks to technology, we have the ability to observe and meet consumers where they are at in real time. Understanding today's fast-moving consumer is more important than ever before, as this industry is facing a massive, massive problem. The industry as a whole is worth $10 trillion. $218 billion alone is being spent in the US on food waste. It's taking us on average 24 months to bring new products out to market, and around 89% of those products are failing at launch, either pre or post. Now, that's one of the biggest factors aiding to the food waste problem that we're facing. Big, big challenges, but how does this affect your businesses? Well, the way in which we market, innovate, and do research is just simply extremely high friction and low efficiency. Many of you will be familiar with the workflows that you're seeing on the screen right now. I'm not going to have the time to break these down in detail. However, if you are familiar with these, you're also familiar with the constraints that come alongside them. The way in which we bring products to market today just simply is not working. It's outdated, it's manual, it's slow, and it's not to say expensive. I mean, these are some steep numbers here. I'm not going to stick on this for too long. What's the solution? AI is the solution. In the last year and a half alone, AI has become the fastest adopted technology in the world. We can just see from one statistic here how long it took ChatGPT to get to 1 million users compared to some significant brands out there like the likes of Netflix, Airbnb, Facebook. And if you want to see that AI is here to stay, just look how long it took them to 100 million users compared to some other big brands. AI is already being adopted to multiple other verticals that we all use probably on a day-to-day basis, whether it is ChatGPT for conversational, Google Translate for translation, Midjourney for imaging. The big question we should be all asking in this room is, what is there for food and beverage? Enter Tastewise, the generative AI platform for consumer data, for a consumer data platform for food and beverage brands, providing speed and scalability. And we're already trusted by many of the world's leading brands. They already understand that AI is no longer a nice to have, it is a must have to be able to keep that competitive edge and achieve their business objectives. And why do they trust us? It's all because of the data. Our AI algorithm has the ability to meet consumers in real time to really understand the how, the why, the what, the when, and the where. Our algorithm gathers multiple data layers, meeting the consumers behind their doors within recipes, also alongside them within social media, going by as chefs from single chains to mega chains, and also gathering retail data from major markets around the world. I've got a few more slides here, but this is some return on investment. I'm about to cut short. This is some figures on Tastewise, and if anyone wants to see some more, that was our QR, but come and see me afterwards.
Thank you, then. Thank you very much for your presentation. Great. Great presentation. So now let's start with questions. Do we have any? Yes.
Hello, thanks for your pitch. I'm Marika King from Pink Powlig Venture Arm. I was curious, because if I understand you correctly, you're focusing on consumer trends and picking up what's cooking. But when it comes to the actual flavor of real products, I mean, do you actually do that as well? Because there's AI solutions that work on product development to develop recipes and flavor. Do you incorporate that, or did I just miss it?
No, it's great. It's a great question. Yeah, so we are gathering data from recipe data as well. But I mean, what we'll actually do is we'll observe, because we're observing, we're not reporting data, billions of pieces of data points in real time from consumers, and then be able to utilize that information based off of your query to provide you with the most relevant product development information or recipe. If you want to create a generative AI recipe, you can type in your query, we'll generate you the insight based off of real-time consumer data.
But do the consumers taste it?
Well, eventually the consumers will taste it. Tastewise's job is not doing the formulation or the sensory. Our job is to basically take these organizations 80% of the way there. The last 20% is to do by them. I mean, Barilla in the room, for example, is one of our partners.
Thank you, Dan, very, very much for the presentation. A big applause, of course, for you. And now let's wait for the results.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. We are there, almost done. A last speaker is ready to hit the stage, so please give him a warm welcome. Thomas Stegink, Director of EU Operations at UBI Meat Experts in QA. Hello. Hi, Thomas. The remote is yours. The middle of the stage is the best place to be. Timer is here. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce you to UB Meat. We're transforming the meat industry through the power of AI. My name is Thomas Stegink, and after a decade in the meat industry, I've seen the costly claims, wasted meat, and damaged relationships caused by traditional grading methods. Grading methods that are inaccurate, non-independent, and rely on a pool of decreasing experienced staff. For example, misgrading marbling for beef could result into a missed value of up to $1,000 an animal, and with quality claims costing potentially even more in the short term and in the long term. Traditional grading for trimmings results in a staggering overbuffering of 17%. UBmeat provides accurate and independent grading methods based on AI. We allow processors to optimize their value and reduce resources while providing end users with value for money and transparency. We have developed 3 fully operational solutions so far, one of which is our beef marbling solution. And we have many more ideas and industry requests in our pipeline that will solve key problems throughout the supply chain. Behind our innovation is a team of diverse expertise throughout the meat sector, AI, and machine learning. Recent advancements in technology allow us to help producers optimize their processes and make a movement to quality rather than quantity. With a growing global market and lots of ways to minimize, we have to act now. We've conducted successful pilot programs in South and North America and are now seeking to expand to the EU and Australia. UBmeat offers a software as a service business model with tiered pricing for access to our grading tools. By promoting precision grading, we can reduce waste along the supply chain and make sure that every cut meets its full potential. The human eye is often mistaken or tired. Our tech offers unmatched accuracy and, assure you, is always awake and on point. This is what we have achieved so far with few employees and few pilots. The AI is ready to revolutionize the meat industry, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start questions.
Conan Condon Alltech. Who are you targeting? Are you targeting this the meat processors, or what is the transformation of the data back to the consumer? Because the time it takes the consumer to understand what grade they got the meat and what price they're getting per kilo. Are you targeting the consumer because the farmer, because the farmer is probably going to pay for it?
We are targeting the meat processors because they are already classifying their products visually and manually. And we think with our system, they can be much more accurate and also create stronger brands for the consumer to look at. Did I answer your question?
The data that you're collecting, that is probably more relevant to the farmer as well.
Yes,
because
of course.
Again, their next crop of animals coming through, how do you improve the grade?
Yeah, we are working on a data flow solution as well, that with our information derived from our data could help farmers decrease feed and also time in the farm to reduce. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. There are no further questions, so big applause for our last